Hi guys, welcome back for another video. Today I have a special guest with me, my dear husband. He is going to be picking books for me today. He's gonna pick 2 or 3 books and I am going to read them and tell him what I think about them. So basically this is my husband picks my TBR. So we are checking out a bookstore that I've been dying to go to while we're down here in Florida. It's called Books and Books. And when I lived here, I never got to make it out here. This is all the way in Coral Gables. So if you're ever in this area and you are looking for like a really cute, really aesthetic with good books in stock type of bookstore, you can check out Books and Books in Coral Gables. So we're gonna go inside. He's gonna pick 2 to 3 books. Are you excited? Are you excited, babe?
I'm very excited.
Do you think you know what kind of books I like?
I have no idea what kind of books you like, but I'm gonna think back to 2022, all the books you've read, and pick something completely opposite.
That was good.
If it was gonna be something that you would read, then you could pick it. So
That's
I'm gonna pick something that I think would be interesting to hear your take on. So
yeah. And are you an avid reader?
I am not an avid reader. Usually an avid.
Yeah.
I'm not an avid reader. I rarely have time to read books for fun. I work in finance, so
so he likes those finance books.
Yeah.
It should be fiction. We should at least establish that. Like it should probably be fiction.
I do my best to get something that's a good mix of your personality and mine.
Yeah. And yeah, excuse my voice. It sounds a little weird because I am recovering from something. I don't know what it is. And I also have my brother in the back. So what's up, Gab? So yeah, all right, we're gonna go ahead and
do what we
started.
do.
Said it was easy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Call me when you need me. I don't wanna see so easy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it on your mind still, never do a die still. Oh, you should never see.
Finding anything that you wanna?
I'm just maybe doing some research.
How's it going, babe?
Hour number 4 of searching.
It's not 4 hours.
I mean, how do people pick books? That's what I'm wondering, looking at all these options.
Run around, acting like I don't fight like I can't change my mistakes. Leave all the shit you don't behind. Love life don't make sense, but you said it was easy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Call me when you need me. I don't wanna speak, it's easy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it on your mind still, never do a die still.
He picked a book, ladies and gentlemen. He picked his first book.
Book number 1, Kite Runner. This is something I read in high school. I remember it was a good book, so and Kira said she never read it, so I figured it's about time.
He secured his 2 books. We'll talk about them more in the car, but yeah, he made his 2 picks. And I got a few books too. I'll tell you guys about them in the car.
Is it me that I've been friends with when you never see the truth? Is it me that I've been friends with for these?
We're back.
Trying to steal my show. We're back and we're gonna briefly unhaul the books that we got from Books and Books. Again, if you're ever in this area, it's a really nice bookstore. You should check it out. They have such a wide selection. We're gonna start with Lem's books first.
No pressure. First book here is The Kite Runner, if you can see. This is a book I read back in high school. Probably skimmed it more than read it, knowing me. But I do remember it was a good read, good conversations around it. It's more of like a historical fiction and, you know, from what I remember. So I think it should be an interesting read. And my second book was Love in Color, which this was one that just caught my eye. It has a nice cover. I think it looks pretty interesting.
We love a good cover.
Yeah, it's actually a series of short stories, if you can see there. It just looked interesting. It looked like an easier read. So it's a little something different that I feel like Kira hasn't also done too many short stories. So this should be a pretty good read. And if there are any good ones, I might even pick it up myself. Yeah. So.
All right, so these are the books that I'm gonna be reading from the hubs. I will check back in to let you guys know what I think about them. I got The Catcher in the Rye, and also I got To Kill a Mockingbird, and both of these books are actually for a video that I'm going to be doing later this month. Then I got The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I was talking about this in the video that I did when I was talking about the books that I wanted to read for 2023, and this was one of them, so I went ahead and picked it up. And then lastly, I got Addicted to You. Somebody commented on my last video when I was talking about how much I love found family trope, and they told me that this is like a really, really great found family trope, and that I would love it, so I decided to pick it up. So those are the books I got, the books I picked, the books my husband Lem picked, and yeah, that's it. Hello you guys, this is my first time filming in 2023. So the last clip that you guys saw was from 2022, and now we are in a new year. I just started reading The Kite Runner yesterday. I've been actually annotating a little bit. I really only have one annotation so far, but there's just some really profound sayings and thoughts in here that I wanted to annotate. So I'm annotating with these tabs that kind of match the cover of the book. So yes, I am currently on page 83, and I'm using my little Books and Books bookmark. It's a very powerful book with a lot of strong emotions, a lot of strong thoughts by the main character. It's very poignant. I think that's how you say that word. Is that how you say it? Poignant. It's very provocative. The thoughts are very real and raw. Our main character is definitely a flawed main character, but they're also very young. There's something very horrifying that happened a few pages ago, and I'm just wondering where this book is going, like what direction it's going to take. But I will say that I'm hooked. Like, I could not put the book down when I started it last night. That's all I have to say about it so far. I will probably check in again when I finish the book or when I'm close to finishing the book. Alrighty guys, so I have the books here. I finished The Kite Runner last night, and yeah, I am rating The Kite Runner like a 3.8.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a well-written book. I think it was like the character that I didn't like. He was a very unlikable character, and you know, there was like a full circle moment of like his redemption of sorts in the end, but yeah, he was just extremely unlikable and extremely like, he lacked morals as a child, which was like concerning, but you couldn't like him throughout the story because of that. But I did appreciate the full circle moment, so 3.8. Did you like it when you read it?
From what I remember, it was a good book. It was thought-provoking, and like I said before, it really sparked some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember a lot from this book.
For Love and Color, I read a few of the stories. I didn't finish the whole thing. And I also would rate this somewhere like a 3.5. I think that really is just not my forte, but I can recognize that the writing is beautiful. Like, I think a lot of the writing was a little too abstract for me, but I could see the beauty in it. Like, they were beautifully written. I liked it, but it just didn't do it for me.
So Kite Runner is the best book of the year so far.
The only book of the year I've read so far, so by default, but that will change.
Yeah, I do books.
So I do want to give you guys a brief little summary of what these stories are about so that if you're interested in them yourself, you can check them out. This one, quite simply, is just a collection of stories on love. Some of them are mythical stories that are from different cultures, and some of them are modern day stories, but they are not Western love stories, which is really interesting and definitely a different perspective. It's very poetic and very colorful, as colorful as its cover, in fact. Like Kite Runner, this book is set in Afghanistan and also eventually migrates over to the US. This is the story of a family. The major themes in this book are honor, love, family, blood, like, you know, knowing where your family comes from. And it really does go into the political situation of Afghanistan and how it got there and the history of it, from when things were normal all the way through all the different wars that they've gone through, being occupied by different groups. It's really, really heartbreaking to see how Afghanistan was and then to see what it became. I honestly don't know too much about Afghanistan or its people or its culture, but this really, really gave me insight to that. And so those are the parts that I enjoyed about this book. But it is a story about the main character's life and how he makes several wrong decisions and how he fights to get through that. He makes these wrong decisions as a child and they follow him all the way into his adulthood. And yeah, it's just extremely heartbreaking because there are some very real and raw things in this book, specifically his relationship with his father, which really I think contributed to the decisions he made as a child. I highly recommend you check out the trigger warnings of this before you read it because there are quite a few. There were a lot of traumatic things that happened in it. It's a really good book. The main character was just so insufferable, and I think that's what makes me give it a 3.8 because there was literally no redeeming qualities about him, even through to his adulthood until the very end. So yeah, that's why I gave this a 3.8 rating. But if you're into this kind of book, I think you'll like it. So those are my ratings for the books. I really enjoyed getting to step outside of my comfort zone and read something that I probably would not have picked for myself. So I did enjoy that aspect of this. I had so much fun incorporating my husband into this video because he sees me always constantly reading, and so it was really fun to bring him into this. And he's now telling me that he wants me to pick a book for him to read. So I hope that you guys are having a great start to the new year. It's so crazy that we're already in 2023. But even if you're not having a great start, I just want to say, like, we have 300 and some odd days. Like, you can always turn it around. So just stay optimistic, stay hopeful, and just, you know, be kind to yourself. I hope that this is a year that you chase your dreams and that your dreams come true, guys. I'm just so excited for what this year has in store. I'm so excited. I have so many books that I want to read, guys. I did a video talking about books that I want to read in 2023, but there are still so many books that I want to read, and I absolutely cannot wait. Like, I'm just like, oh, there's so much good stories out there. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I love you guys, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like